Alright, so the movie we're looking at right here is Seven with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman. In this scene, we have Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt, and Kevin Spacey. As you can see, all the colors are earthy tones except for red. Red's a really important color in this scene. As you can see, the fragile marks that you just saw were in red. Morgan Freeman's opening a box with blood that's got red. And here, I'm going to pause it right about here. What you can see right there is that Kevin Spacey, even though he's clearly in the background, is red. What the director and cinematographer wants you to do is really to focus on him. The camera is focused on Brad Pitt, but Kevin Spacey's character is really important in this scene, and so that's why he's dressed in red while everyone else is in the brown, dark, earthy tones. Alright, back into the scene. Another really important thing to point out is the use of diagonal lines. Diagonal lines are everywhere throughout the scene. It's really important to point out that there's a reason that the makers of this film chose to put this in an open field with all the power lines. These power lines create diagonal lines everywhere. You have the crisscross supporting beams holding up the metal power line structures, and then you have the power lines going every which way. And the landscapes even in diagonal lines. But the horizon lines are in diagonals a lot of times. What you're going to see pretty soon here is the person in the helicopter watching Morgan Freeman run, and the road that's going to cross through here is also going to be in a diagonal line. The dialogue kind of breaks it up a little bit. Right here, yeah, you see the roads in a diagonal line. And then as Morgan Freeman keeps running, what you're going to notice is that the horizon line is also a diagonal line. If you look at this freezed frame, even though it's out of focus because it's moving, what the directors did here is they used what's called a Dutch angle. It's a tilted camera angle to really create a sort of confused, disconnected feel. The horizon line is, again, diagonal, which supports our theme of use of diagonal lines. All right, finally, there's one last thing I want to talk about within this video. The way that the characters are positioned, the spacing between them, and just how they're laid out is very important. Brad Pitt is facing Morgan Freeman and Kevin Spacey. And Morgan Freeman and Kevin Spacey each want Brad Pitt to do different things. Morgan Freeman's trying to convince Brad Pitt, hey, don't kill Kevin Spacey, while Kevin Spacey's really wants Brad Pitt to murder him and complete his evil plans. Brad Pitt, as you can see, is torn up over this. That's why he's the one who's moving back and forth, while Kevin Spacey and Brad Pitt are going to stay real still. The backgrounds might move around them, but relatively the shots don't move. While Brad Pitt's all over the place, moving around back and forth, right to left, Kevin Spacey does not move. It's still just that really centered close-up. This kind of shows, the whole disagreement that's happening between Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt and Kevin Spacey. It presents the whole, choice that Brad Pitt has to make between what he's going to do, and it really sets up a lot of tension for the scene.